another episode of Doctor's Orders. I'm Dr. Matt. We're here at the doctor's office in Seattle, Washington. This is the series where I introduce you to one of the bottles from our world-class selection on our shelves. Today is a very special episode because this is arguably my favorite bottle on all of the shelves. People often ask me what my favorite is, and frankly, it depends on the day. Some days I'm in a rum mood, some days I'm in a mezcal mood, some days a whiskey mood, some days that's rye, scotch, you get it. If I have to pick one though, I always call this my desert island whiskey. If I could pick a case of anything to wash up on the shore of my desert island, it's gonna be this. I absolutely love this whiskey. This is Nikka's Yoichi 15 year. They stopped making this about 2015. We are very lucky to have some in supply. It's just to me, a perfectly balanced whiskey. It's got some of that smoke that I love. But again, I don't really do a whole bunch of tasting notes. It's just that everything's in that perfect harmony. Everything that I'm looking for in a whiskey, a little bit of that earthiness, a little bit of that salt, a little bit of that peat. It's all in there. Absolutely love it. So I took a trip once to Yoichi to visit the distillery, and that's what I want to tell you about. That's what I'm going to tell you about after I drink some of this, because man, that's good. Hang on just a second. So, as I've probably mentioned already, I have a penchant for visiting the places where these things are made. I love seeing not only the facilities, the community around it, meeting some of the people there. And so I went on a whiskey pilgrimage up to Yoichi. Yoichi's up in Hokkaido, northern island in Japan. Fly into Sapporo, take the train over to Otaru, which is the nearest town with a hotel that you can stay in. Get up early the next morning and take the train a little bit farther over into Yoichi. And Otaru is a fantastic little town on its own. Happens to have a gas clock, just like Vancouver, made by the same guy. Tripped me out a little bit when I saw it. I was like, wait, I know that from Vancouver. So I was already feeling like, this is a great place, like full of fun little surprises. Well, then I get out to Yoichi, beautiful facility, snows on the ground. I was there in winter, walking around, hearing the story of Matasaka Takasuru, his wife Rita, all their museums, see their old house, all of that. Well, then at the very end, they have a tasting room. And this was years ago. And back then, if you went to that tasting room, you could find a bottle of Yoichi 20-year-old. Now, I already knew that the Yoichi 15 was absolutely one of my favorite whiskeys of all time. Hadn't had a chance to try the 20. Well, it turns out at their tasting room, it was pretty cheap. And so I had some. And I had some more. And then I had lunch. And I circled back. I figured, well, when else am I going to be here? You see where the story's going, right? Suffice it to say, I was about as drunk as I've been in my adult life. I end up catching one of the last trains back to Otaru. Get back to my hotel. Fall asleep. Sleep the sleep of the blessed who just drank Yoichi 20. And I wake up and I'm like, where's my phone? Look around, can't find it. I had a little iPad with me. I do the find my iPhone thing. Pull up some Google Translate of I lost my phone, I'm staying at this hotel if you find this. And then I think, you know what, maybe I dropped it in the hall as I was fumbling for keys or something last night. I'll go down to the front desk. So I get down to the front desk and I kind of show them the Google Translate thing that I did. And they said, oh, yeah, that's at the police station. And I thought, oh, they mean make a report at the police station for a lost item. I said, well, no, but if someone calls, they said, yeah, the police station, they just called and they said they have your phone. So I walk across the street, the police station's right at the train station there. And it turns out what had happened was I had been looking at my phone to see what stop to get off on the way back. Set it down, grabbed my bags, didn't pick it back up. One of the other passengers on the train saw me set down my phone, saw me get off the train, couldn't catch my attention in time. Literally got off at the next stop, brought my phone back up to Otaru, dropped it off at the police station, and then waited for the next train all the way back. I did the math on this. This was probably an hour and a half out of their day between waiting for those trains. It was later in the day. And I thought only in Japan would you leave your phone, and not only does it not disappear, I have lost a phone in other countries before and they don't come back, but the person went so far out of their way to bring it back to where they knew that I would be. It was just such an amazing gesture, and every time I think of Yoichi, I think of whoever that person is. They didn't leave a name. I could never thank them in person, but this is me raising a glass to them every time I think of Yoichi and just the beautiful people living up around there who would do something like that for a total stranger. So here's to them, and come by and drink some. We'll throw out 15% off this week. Cheers.